Good morning. Today is Friday, January 15th, 2021. Our I can for today says, I can add adjacent angles. Who remembers what adjacent means? Remember, it's that fancy word for, next to or side by side, angles that are side by side. Remember, we talked about opposite, we talked about adjacent. Adjacent means right next to another angle. All right, so let's start. We've got 6 examples to do today. We're going to start with a straight angle. And I'm going to leave enough room up here to do 2 examples on this top row. All right. I'm going to use my handy dandy straight edge or my right angle template to make sure I'm drawing straight lines. Go ahead and label your vertex right in the center. I'm going to draw a ray going up. And actually, I'm going to draw another ray going up. We'll make this one tricky. So just looking at number 1, I'm going to tell you that this measure is 60 degrees. And I'm going to tell you this one measures 40 degrees. My question is, what does X measure? We know it's going to be X degrees, but how would we figure this out? Well, I don't see a right angle abbreviation, so I know it's not going to equal 90. So I have to think of something I already know. What I know is, I know that the straight angle measures exactly 180. So all the way around here, the total is 180 degrees. That I do know. 180 equals 60 plus 40 plus X. Well, can we do 60 plus 40? Sure. 60 plus 40 is 100. 100 plus X equals 180. Well, that looks easier. Now I think I could do it. So really, all I did so far was I put these 2 angles together. They were separate. This was a little angle over here. And this was a little angle right next to it. And I took these 2 little angles. I said, wait a second, I'm going to put those guys together. And that's how I got this angle. So now I know this part right here, just this chunk, measures 100 degrees. So if I have 100 here, how many must be over there? Well, let's use the opposite operation. I'm going to subtract 100. I'm left with 80 for X. So how big is X? 80 degrees. And that makes sense because 80 plus 100 would give me 180. Let's do another one very similar. I want to draw the vertex on number 2, and I want to make 2 rays coming out of it. All right. Do you see a 90-degree angle? I do not. So I don't know that measure, but what I do know is the straight line is a straight angle, and how much does it measure? It's exactly 180 degrees. All right, so the total again is 180. I'm going to tell you this side over here measures 54 degrees. And I'm going to tell you this side over here measures 49 degrees. What is X? Do we know the total? Yeah, the total is 180, and 180 equals 54 plus 49 plus X. If I add all of these together, 1, 2, 3 chunks, 1, 2, 3 chunks, that should give me 180. Well, I'm going to add together the 2 that I know first, 54 plus 49. I'm going to stack them and add them. That's how I'm more accurate and precise. That's 13, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I have 103 plus X. Don't forget about our X. That equals 180. 103 plus something equals 180. I'm going to subtract by 103 and subtract by 103. And that's going to tell me what my X is. What's 0 take away 3? I can't do it. Neighbor, neighbor, can I borrow one? Sure. Now instead of 8, they have 7. And when I come back here, I have 10. 10 take away 3 is 7. What's 7 take away 0? Still 7. And what's 1 take away 1? That's 0. So 77 is x. And if I checked, if I did 54 plus 77 plus 49, guess what it would equal? It would equal 180. All right, here's number 3. Number 3 is going to look a little bit tricky, but it's really cool once you know the rule. So you're going to need a straight edge or your right angle template or the side of your notebook or the side of your Eureka book, and we're going to make an X. This reminds me of our parallel line song. Parallel lines never meet. Intersecting lines make V's. Perpendicular lines meet at 90 degrees. Put your hands in the air with me. All right, what kind of lines are these? Are they parallel? Nope. Intersecting? Yep. Perpendicular? Nope. They're rectangular. All right, so these make V's. I'm going to tell you that the top here is 150 degrees. And we're going to find a good color for this one because this is going to be a great rule that we're going to need a lot. This angle up here measures 150 degrees. And I'm going to tell you that this angle over here measures 30 degrees. Should have picked a different color. So guess what that means? With intersecting lines, the opposite angles are always equal. It's a rule. So if this side equals 30, guess what this side equals? 30. And if this side equals 150, guess what this side equals? 150. That's the rule. Intersecting lines have opposite angles that are equal. So this side is 30 because that side is 30. And this side is 150 because that other side was 150. And that's going to be a really helpful rule. Now, if we think about it differently, I could have thought about it as I see a straight angle on there, and my straight angle always measures how many degrees? That's right, my straight angle measures 180 degrees. So here we have 180 degrees. And 180, of course, equals 150 plus 30. All right, let's write the rule right beside it. Intersecting lines, make these, of course, intersecting lines always have opposite angles that are equal. Intersecting lines always have opposite angles that are equal. Sorry, guys. So let's try another one like this. Let's make sure we know the rule. Here's number 4. Need your handy dandy straight edge or your right angle template. And we're going to make another X. I'm going to try to make this one a little bit skinnier. Parallel lines never meet. Intersecting lines make V's. I see the V's. See a V here and a V here and a V here. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you the top, this angle measures 172 degrees. I could not tell you anything else and you could figure this out because we know that this is a straight line. And what does a straight line equal? Let me flip it over. A straight line equals 180 degrees. So I could do 180 minus 72. But guess what? We don't even have to do that because I'm going to tell you this little angle equals 8. All right, so here's my big angle up top. That equals 172. And this teeny tiny little angle next to it equals 8. What can you tell me about y and p? Who thinks they know the measure for p? If you said 8 degrees, you are exactly right, because we know that opposite angles are equal. This one is 8 over here because that side's 8. They're opposite each other, across from each other. Who thinks they know the measure of angle y? If you said angle y equals 172 degrees, you're exactly right, because opposite angles are equal. Those are easy ones to figure out, right? Now let's pretend we had to figure it out using our math. Well, what I would have done is I would have said, I could have started with 180 degrees equals 172 plus x. And then when I subtracted my 172, 0 minus 2, I can't do it. Neighbor, neighbor, can I borrow 1? Sure. Now they have 7, and I bring back 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 7 minus 7 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. X equals 8. That's how I figured it out. Okay, that's how I showed my work in case they didn't tell me that. Let's take it one step harder, because you guys are doing so well with these. Let's see if we can fit number 5 over here. Ooh, we've got 5 and 6. Let me see if I can fit that. Let's try. I'm going to start with my right angle template, and I'm going to trace a right angle. Now, sometimes they make right angles look like right angles, and sometimes they try to turn them on you and trick you. That's why if you always have your template, you can test it no matter which direction it's turned. This one's pretty straightforward, and I'm going to label it 90 degrees. But look what I'm going to do. Is at this vertex, I'm going to make a ray coming off to the other side. Oh yeah, we can do it. It's not too hard. We know this angle is 90. And I'm going to tell you that this angle right here equals 120 degrees. So that's this opening right here. It's a pretty big angle, isn't it? This side is 120. This side is 90. My question is, what is x? It's this angle down here. Now I see 90 and I see 120, but what is my total? Well, my total is going to have to be a circle. How much is a full circle? It's 360. So 360 equals 120, because that's my first piece, plus 90 plus x. It's this missing number. So let's add the two that I know together. 120 plus 90. 210 plus x will give me 360. Well, that didn't give me my answer. You're right, I have one last step to go. What do I need to do to figure this one out? I'm going to subtract 210 from that side and subtract 210 from this side. That will leave me x over here. 0 minus 0 is 0. 6 take away 1 is 5. And 3 take away 2 is 1. X equals 150 degrees. So now I know my missing side. My missing side length is its measure is 150, and I've made the full circle. And that's how we would figure this out. All right. So you guys did really well. we're going to stop there. You've got some practice to do today in your green books. We're going to work on lesson 11. We're going to work on page 79, 80, and 81. Have a good day.